How are you dealing your time?
I will be looking for points.
Be the chamber to advise, Mexico is dealing points.
Emergency legislation has been brought up, and I believe it is unnecessary. Businesses have to deal with themselves, and bankruptcy is back under control for the most part. Since I'm against emergency legislation, I'm going to give the rest of my time to any of you who feel emergency legislation is necessary to sell me on it. Begin.
Point to the speaker. Alabama.
So if you own a small...
I accept.
So if you own a small business, someone to a bomb and blew up your business, would you want aid from the government to restart? Because you had spent every single last cent. You had sold your own house to buy this business. Just everyone who works for you was blown up in that incident. You're just by yourself. Would you want the government to help you reestablish your business?
I would like the government to help me because I forgot the last time that viruses blew up buildings.
And you said better.
No cross-debate? No cross-debate? Alright, other motions for the speaker? Points? New Hampshire, to what point do you rise?
Towards the speaker.
Speaker, do you accept?
I do.
Well, do you agree that if
Personal preference, can the speaker speak louder, please?
do you agree that if the government, I'm just using Alabama's analogy here, that if the government were to assist in the rebuilding of the small business, that it would be way too much money because there are a lot of small businesses, as well as the chance of these businesses committing fraud by destroying their own company?
Well, just like to address something, McAfee being the largest firewall protection and virus protection ware in the world, it is not a small business and does have the power to help itself.
Thank you. Points for the speaker. Rhode Island. Speaker, do you accept?
I do.
If we don't help McAfee, if we don't help them solve their problem, since they are the biggest company right now that protects and fixes firewalls for individual PCs, what will happen to those PCs that aren't protected from this virus is that threatening.
Well, I don't know if you've heard the updated brief, but they have regained control of their system.
Alright, points for the speaker. Alabama, to what point do you rise?
Point of inquiry.
Speaker, do you accept?
I do.
So would you accept legislation from the government to help prevent this issue from ever happening again? Like,
Well, I believe that in each bill is clearly stated because that is what this committee is convened.
Alright, point to the speaker. To what point do you rise? Speaker, do you accept?
I do. Could you please speak louder?
Thank you.
When you answer this question, you said something like Captain can help himself. If that is what you said, and I understood you correctly, do you believe that McAfee, like, basically has a perfect firewall that is immune to all hackers and, like, basically, yeah.
Obviously, their firewall is not immune to all hackers since they have recently been hacked and their systems were down. But as we have seen, they have regained control of their systems and everything is currently in a safe state.
Thank you, Speaker. Your time is elapsed.
Thank you.
Are there any points of motions on the floor at this time? Seeing none, the chair will recognize the next speaker. Maine. How are you dealing your time? Be the chamber to advise.
We've been talking about prevention methods for the crisis that occurred. I believe in certain bills that send money to universities, that this will actually help prevent these crises from happening. Because oftentimes these hacks are made by hackers in colleges, in colleges. So if we gave them a job, if we gave them a purpose, then they would be less likely to try to exploit the systems that are already in action.
Points for the speaker.
security and technology. It's a growing industry. So I don't think the government should be responsible for creating jobs. There should be positions open, but I don't think they should go out of their way to create extra jobs because there are people seeking.
Thank you. Point to the speaker. California, at what point do you rise? Speaker, do you accept?
Yes.
Okay, I have a stat that I forgot to use in my speech, in my paper. In 2006, a total of 55.7 billion has been lost in identity theft. In 2007, 49.3 billion. You say that the job market is, like there is an opening for the job market for cyberspace. Are you losing more money because you're not giving out the proper security needed to stop this identity theft that's taking so much money from our economy?
Could you rephrase the question, California? You had a preface there.
Yeah.
Can you just limit it to the question?
Alright, so much money has been taken because of identity theft. So shouldn't we be advocating more security and rather than just worrying about the job market as in the companies that you
I'm saying not to worry about the job market, that there is a demand, so the government doesn't need to intervene there. With those jobs comes security, they're hand in hand. If there are more people working for security, which there will be, then that will ensure a safer internet.
Thank you. The speaker has time for one quick point. All those wishing to do so. Seeing none, I have a point. Bane, did you bring up the research that you had addressed during the moderated podcast call?
Yes, I did some research and I found out that many people, including Congress, are upset about the sentences that hackers receive. They want to lengthen the sentences and make them more severe so that they can deter hackers from hacking the systems.
Thank you, Bane. Are there any points of motions on the floor at this time? Seeing none, the chair will recognize the next speaker, Virginia. How will you be yielding your time? The chamber so advised.
Basically, McAfee wasn't exactly during reference.
Yes.
Please speak up.
Virginia, can you please speak louder? Project.
Basically, McAfee does not offer antivirus software that is 100% like always functional and like always blocks all viruses and whatnot. See, if they had that kind of firewall, that software, they would have used that and given that kind of given that software to their customers. But obviously they did not have that kind of software. So I just think that it's not McAfee's fault that they got hacked. It's the government needs to do something about it, and it's not McAfee's fault. Basically.
Thank you. Point to the speaker, New Mexico. What point do you rise?
Point of inquiry directed to the speaker.
Speaker, do you accept?
You stated that McAfee does not have a firewall that protects against all viruses and worms. And I would like to inform you that there is currently no firewall that can protect against every virus and every worm.
Can you rephrase that in a question?
And even if there was, how do you believe that McAfee would be able to implement that as a way for all of their customers to be available to it? Basically, if there was a way that McAfee could have every virus and every worm to be able to protect all computers against them, how do you think that their customers would react if they would get that?
They would be happy.